All right, so welcome back, guys. It's actually the morning after Moab, so just got back last night. I just wanted to record a quick video for the intro. So overall, we had a great time. I think I learned a couple things coming into this is that it was a little too cold, even though we've camped in colder temperatures for the family at least. We were all comfortable inside the sleeping bags, but just the temps throughout the day dropping really fast, especially in the desert. Preheating the tent, keeping the tent warm was problematic. So my wife did end up approving a diesel heater going forward. So we're going to try that out in later videos. Hoping to squeeze in another winter camp trip. It all depends on whether it gets approved or not. So, but overall, we had a good time. The kids loved it. My oldest is starting to grow maybe a little bit out of winter camping. He just doesn't like being in the cold, but he still loves camping. He says he'd like to do it again, but maybe in the summertime. So, but yeah, kind of just go through what we pack for a weekend trip. What I brought and the gear that I use. I'll be trying to do another rig walk around review with the truck here. It's got quite a bit more scratches and modifications since the last time I did the review, and that was my first video, so I apologize for the quality, but yeah, hope you enjoy. Stay tuned.
All right, we're in my garage, and I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of what I packed for a weekend trip with the family. So this is my garage, and I apologize for the mess. I've been renovating, so I got a bunch of tools everywhere. But this is a wall I dedicated for all my camp gear, besides whatever's actually hanging on the wall. I've kind of just set everything I need in this one row so that whenever we do decide to go camping, I just load everything here, and I'm 100% sure I haven't forgotten anything, unless I forgot to pack it when I put things away. For the most part, I'll have everything I need. So we'll start from the right here. I have this Reliance Aquatainer 7-gallon jug. I actually have two of them. So we carry 14 gallons for every weekend trip. And that's just for washing our hands, doing the dishes or whatnot. We don't drink out of those. I have another container for drinking water, but it's been great. Even when we're conservative with our water, we typically will only go through one for a weekend, but just in case, I do bring two in case of emergencies or for some reason we need more water on that trip. I do always have two. So behind that, I do have this Blackstone grill or griddle with a single burner. That way, that's what we use to cook. We also have the burner to boil water, make coffee, things like that. So I also have this Reliance toilet. So it's great. It's got a lid, got a bottle. I always keep at least half filled bottle of cat litter, scented cat litter, just because it's way more pleasant to walk into my bathroom tent and have it smell like scented cat litter rather than whatever's in the toilet. So I also carry this propane fire pit. So if you've lived in Colorado and gone camping recently, you'll know that every year the fire ban just keeps getting worse. I feel like the moment the camp season starts, there's a fire ban, and then all the way till the winter. So we typically use this fire pit, and I've actually used this fire pit exclusively this year for campfires. I haven't yet made a wood fire on any of the camp trips I've done this year. Granted, this year has been the worst fires in Colorado. I think we had our the largest, second largest, and third largest fire within this year. So as long as it's, I typically call the Rangers district for whatever area I'm camping in and ask, just because I'm not 100% sure propane fire pits are allowed in any given time, but they haven't said no yet. So for the most part, it's legal. And this is new for this year. It's kind of an Amazon knockoff of a Camp Chef. I think it's a Sherpa. So it's kind of a table kitchen storage unit. So I'll probably have another video showing it set up, but it's got legs on the bottom that you can extend so it stands. And then there's a aluminum, I think it's aluminum, top that snaps onto the top of this. So, and that serves as our table. And then here in the middle, if I open this up, we have some storage bins. So you can see here I have 2 collapsible buckets, one for dirty dishes, one's a drying rack for clean dishes. I've got my jet boil, some pot and pans in one of them, silverware, spoons and plates in another one, and cups as well. So everything fits in here in terms of kitchen supplies. We also have some sponges and some dish soap that I store in there as well. So it's pretty convenient. I just leave this open during the day and I zip it up at night. If there is food or I didn't do the dishes or whatnot, or we're in bear country, I will throw this in the back of my truck and lock up my truck as well. But yeah, it's compact, packs well. I've been happy with it. I don't think I'll ever go back to having individual containers, loose containers for my kitchen gear. And actually, I forgot to pack these in there. This is actually supposed to be in there. So throw that in there. This is what is this? Oh, this is for my stove. So, and here, this is a collapsible step. And my wife uses that because she's short. The truck keeps getting higher because I either put larger tires or lift it. And she can't, if we're on uneven ground and the tailgate is kind of pointed in an upward direction, she'll use that to stand on so that she can access the griddle easier. So we also have these 2 plano cases. We actually have 3, but I brought one inside because one is totally empty that we use to store dry foods. So things that doesn't need to be refrigerated or whatnot, we'll store that in a bin and in a separate bin and pack that in last. So this particular bin, let me see, not quite sure what order I stored them in. So this one will have kind of my backup supplies as well as some other not necessities, but creature comforts. So we have our hammock in there, and hammocks are great if you have small children. I have 2 small boys, and they love to sleep in the hammock. So if you're looking for something comfortable for kids to sleep in, a hammock is great. So it's got a bug net in there. It's also got a rain fly just in case we're in some sun. And I'll throw up the rain fly to add some shade so the kids don't get too hot in the summer. So I got this portable Bluetooth waterproof speaker. It's solar, but to be honest, the solar doesn't keep up necessarily with the power draw that this uses when it's on full blast. Or even mid-range, it doesn't seem to keep up. But it does keep it, extend the life of the battery. So it does last for pretty much a whole day. And then at night, it runs out pretty quick. But there's also an option to plug it into a micro USB and work it from there. So got toilet paper, a hatchet, some towels. These are some towels with a hook on the end that I hang off of my fridge and my stove, so we can wipe our hands while we're cooking, whatnot. What else do I have in here? I got some dog chains in there, just in case we bring our dog. And I also have this pad, which is for the child's playpen, which I'll go into later. Oh, sorry for that. This bin here, we actually don't bring this bin. Sorry, this is my loading bin, so to speak. That's where all my life jackets go for this tandem kayak that we use. So I got kids' life jackets in there, adult life jackets, enough for the family, and a couple extra just in case. So if we are bringing the kayak, I'll pack that as well. We've got this small Walmart table, collapsible legs. This just a standard table. It just works. It's been good for us. We use that on top of this table here, because this doesn't give us enough kitchen space or table space, to be honest, especially if you're cooking and you're prepping food or whatnot. And my tailgate is completely full with the water jug, the fridge, and the stove. So I also, let's move this over here. I also bring hiking backpacks, just in case we do go on a hike. Hiking is something we love to do. The kids love to be in the hiking backpacks. They're really too lazy to walk. I have this double chair. Got this from Walmart, $39, I believe. I don't quite remember. But this is great. So I have another video on this opened up, but it seats actually all four of us. So the two of us, as well as the two kids, kind of squeezing in the middle. It works if you have small children. It's great because you have a parent on either side so they don't fall off. We have a camping high chair for our youngest, so he can eat. This is what I was talking about, a playpen for our kids. So whenever they're, it's kind of just a room that we keep them locked up in so that we can cook or whatnot and not have to pay too much attention to what they're doing. We throw a whole bunch of toys in there. It keeps them occupied for quite some time. So this is the top to my griddle, or this is a griddle. So kind of what we use to cook. So below that, I have this giant bin. This carries our sleeping bag. So I use a combination of two sleeping bags in the iCamper. Since it's a king size bed, I have a queen size, I believe it's queen size, could be a full size, Teton 0 degree mammoth sleeping bag. And it's big, massive, really thick, but it does the job. It keeps you warm. We've camped in single digit temps in the iCamper with that sleeping bag, and we have never been cold. We have been comfortable. Obviously, if you're going below zero, I don't know yet because I haven't used it below zero, but anything above zero, even single digit temps, it works great. I also have the exact same sleeping bag, but in a single individual size, because my wife and my two kids will stay in the queen size, and I'll just kind of stay in the single one myself. But the single one, for some reason, is not as thick as the queen size mammoth. So even though they're both rated for 0, the queen size is definitely more comfortable. And you can definitely notice it being warmer in there than the single. So I'm not going to open it, but we'll go into that maybe in another video. This is where I store drinking water. Just a plastic container I got on Amazon. It's got a little knob here that I can adjust the flow with. This is 5 gallons. And 5 gallons of drinking water will typically last us a weekend. So we don't typically drink more than 5 gallons for the weekend. But if we did, we can always revert to using the aquatainers, but we also typically keep drinks as well here in the fridge. So this is my fridge. It's an angle fridge. Had it for quite some time now. I think 2 or 3 years. Very basic. No display, just knobs. Set this thing to 2 or actually 1, and keeps everything cold. It just works. Never failed on me. Gets beat up when I go off-roading, but you can see some dents there, whatnot, of camping stuff that might roll onto it or hit it while we're driving, but never fails. This is a second aquatainer, and then I carry 2 20-gallon propane tanks. So I have 3 here, one as a backup just in case one gets low or runs out. So I always pack 2, one for the campfire and the other for the stove. So the campfire will typically use up a lot more than the stove. And if I have the campfire running on full blast for I wouldn't say the entire night, but let's just say 3 to 4 hours, I'll typically burn through a quarter of the tank. So one tank will last me maybe 3 or 4 days on full blast for the evening. But if I do run out, which doesn't happen often, I'll usually take the propane from the stove and run that as well. So that's pretty much it. So this actually all fits in the bed of my truck. And I'm recording this out of order, so I don't quite know how I'm going to piece this all together. But I'll put in some other footage of all this in the truck under my tonneau cover, because I can also close my tonneau cover with all this gear, and show you how that goes. All right, so it's Friday morning. Just started up the truck. Gonna let it warm up for a bit. It's pretty cold. Today is the day after Thanksgiving, so I'll give you a rundown of what's inside the truck. I don't know if you got from our last video, or my walk around video, I don't like a lot of stuff in the cab. So here we have just our water bottles. Probably gonna have a coffee when I make it. In here, I got all the snacks we're gonna need for the drive for both myself and my kids. So we got that there. Let's go to the back. So here in the back, it's dirty because I haven't cleaned it since, oh, Lord knows how long. We have a little fleece blanket for our dog. She's just a little miniature white American Eskimo. So we have here, this is my water container that didn't fit last night, so I just tossed it in here. We threw our duffels, so that has all the clothes that we'll need. So we have 3 duffels, one for the kids, one for myself, one for my wife. A bag here. This is my son's toy bag. So he puts all his favorite toys in there, so he could play whenever we get on the trip. Got water bottles for the kids and laptop for movies for myself, iPad for my kids, so that they could watch during the drive. We always try to limit how much they watch on the drive, just because they don't go to sleep when they're watching. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So like I said, I try to keep at least the part of the cab where I could have an additional passenger or whatnot clear. And then, yeah, that's just about it. All right, so it's the next morning. It was a little too dark when we arrived for me to record, but yeah, there's a lot of people here, surprisingly. I guess everybody had the same idea as us. Let's go camping on the day after
Thanksgiving here. So we're in the Klondike Bluff area. Got down to 17 degrees, and it got down there pretty quick. I think it was 18 for most of the night, and we were good. Obviously, anything exposed outside of the sleeping bags got pretty cold, but when we stuffed our heads, we were comfortable. So unfortunately, my dog there, she decided to throw up 3 times and diarrhea in our tent. So we had to deal with that last night. But it's okay. It's good. The children are good. Like I said, if you guys have children, those mammoth sleeping bags, those 0 degrees from Amazon, the queen size one, full size one, whatever it is, those are really useful. And to keep you warm. So we're packing up right now. That's it right there. We used a Mr. Buddy heater while we weren't in the tent to heat up the tent before we came in, and also when we woke up. My friend John, he's making coffee. Wife, we're making ramen. It's too cold to make anything else. So yeah, we got a lot of trash here that we'll pick up. This is from throwing it out of the tent when I was cleaning up the sleeping bags because of all the poop and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna get cleaned up. We're gonna hit the trail, hopefully see some dinosaur tracks, and yeah. packing up, getting ready to take off here. We had a much better time. We're in a different spot, but we had a much better time sleeping here than we did in the first spot. I also think it's because we added additional layers to our clothes. My wife even got hot enough that she started taking off layers. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe. We'll be trying to do a lot more of this in the future. My wife did approve a diesel heater, so found one on Amazon, and I'm gonna go order and install for our next winter camp trip. Yep.